There. 16th of May 2014. Welcome to Idaho Tea Day. Here we are, just gathered together, ready for the 2-mile walk from the Wells Road Centre in St Anne's to the city centre of Nottingham. Before we set off, I just wanted to say a little bit about Idaho Tea Day, just in case people weren't aware. So, but before I do that, when I was at the cash point yesterday at Barclays, getting some money out, sort of ready for tonight, it was interesting because on the screensaver of the cash point sort of flashed up, and there on the screensaver was Idaho Day in big letters. So I thought that was interesting. So it's a good job that I actually sort of learned a bit more about Idaho Day. Otherwise I might have thought it meant insufficient dosh available, horrendously overdrawn. I've got to say, I hadn't really actually heard of Idaho Day until a few months ago, when we were sort of planning the event at DMT, and sort of being a good management person, I did my homework on Idaho Day, and I was actually sort of quite shocked to hear some of the statistics that sort of came out, in that in at least 77 countries around the world today, same-sex relationships are in some way illegal. In some places it can mean life imprisonment, and this is the most shocking thing, and in 7 countries it actually carries a sentence of death. Just to name those places, so people don't book holidays there. You've got Iran, Somalia, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, the northern part of Nigeria, Mauritania, and the Yemen. So quite shocking, as this is 2014. Also learnt that with Idaho, with the Tea Day, where it actually originates, because tomorrow is the actual international event. It was started in 2004, which was 10 years ago, and what it was doing was commemorating the decision by the World Health Authority in 1990 to take homosexuality off the list of mental disorders, and that's 24 years ago, which really isn't that long at all, is it? You know, I'm 25, so you know, who would have thought? So Idaho Day is celebrated mainly on the 17th in 120 countries, especially in sort of notably in Australia, Cameroon, Albania, and Nicaragua, with the sole purpose of drawing attention to issues of homophobia and transphobia. So here in Nottingham, colleagues from the Low Secure Community Forensic Directorate are making a small personal statement of support with a 2-mile walk to the city centre. We'll be congregating at the Orange Tree pub, and the collection is for the Mind, the charity of choice for the LGBT forum of our trust. So a thanks to David Edgley from Nottinghamshire Rainbow Heritage, Kevin McCudden from the Nottinghamshire Police E&D Department, and Catherine Concha from our trust as well as QB magazine. But before I end, that's my phone there. I've got a little Polari speech where I was given a little bit of sort of help with this on the back of I'm a keen enthusiast about Navy sayings, and a colleague introduced me to the idea of Polari, which is a sort of once secret language from the first 2/3 of the 20th century, popular amongst sort of travellers, a sort of amalgamation of Cockney rhyming slang, Billingsgate fish porters, of all people, and within the sort of theatre and sort of merchant navy circles, particularly around the 1930s to the 1970s. but the sort of language sort of died out thanks to the BBC radio comedy programme Round the Horn, where a couple of characters spoke in Polari and basically ruined it because they gave the game away totally about what it meant. So it's generally been abandoned and became frowned upon in many respects. But here's my Polari speech. I won't translate it because we'll see if people know. So I would like you to Auntie Nell to this Polari speech before we go. This is Bonnaroo to see so many eeks here this evening. Hopefully you will have some sensible bats on your lally tappers for the walk to the Bungaree, where you might have a dilly schlumpf and a cackle. Finally, don't forget to put your lils in your cafes pockets for some metza or even a few funt for the collection for Sherwood Mind. So have a Bonner evening and make it fantastic. I can't even pronounce that. Fantabulosa event and not a cod one. Okay, so on that note,
let's walk.
Idaho, let's go.